talking trendy topics. Interviews with who got motion, we gon' get it poppin'. Just show me stay, we here to stay, nothing they can do about it. Everything 100.
Yo, welcome back to The Fix. You tuned in to 100.3 The Beat. STL's Hip Hop and R&B. We got Wesley Bell, St. Louis County prosecuting attorney, who is running for the Democratic candidate for U.S. Congress, Missouri 1, the 1st District. So, happy to have you here. Obviously, you chimed in a little bit on the post of the culture, man, but, you know, the race getting tight. It's a lot going on. You know, people got a lot of questions, man. My question that, you know, that they had asked that, you know, a lot of people want to know, what was the deciding factor to, you know, run against your opponent that you have now versus Josh Hawley, which that's where you originally started at?
You know, to be perfectly honest, she's not doing a good job. That's where it starts with me.
Okay.
And this is not, and I've said this before, this is not Beverly Hills or Martha's Vineyard where we got all the resources in the world. This region needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
When we look at crime and gun violence, you know the number one killer of black men in this region is gun violence. When we look at education, we got some great schools here, but we got some really struggling schools as well. I mean, and I can just tell you the difference of riding on the streets in St. Louis. I mean, you got to change your tires every other day. Those are things that need to be addressed, and we need people whose agenda is not going to be themselves or agendas that don't impact the everyday folks right here in this district. You need somebody who's going to represent this district. So at the end of the day, we got good candidates that are running against Josh Hawley. He needs to go. State Senator Carla May, Lucas Kuntz, they're very good and experienced folks, but we got a problem right here in this district. And so once I decided to make this decision, it was an easy one for me.
Well, there it is, man. I think, you know, another thing, you made a lot of things where you implemented to St. Louis County since you've been a prosecuting attorney. What are some of the things that you've done to improve public safety?
Okay, now I'm gonna take up the rest of your show because I'm
keep
really.
Keep it short. You know
I'll try.
I know
try.
It's a lot, but I mean a lot. You know, with the body cameras and
absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
and then you got diversion programs that you enrolled out that you implemented. Like, let's just kind of talk about some of those things because you know I got a special position with you know the criminal justice reform and all that. We're gonna get into that, but just kind of talk about some of the things you implemented.
So you know, first and foremost, I think all of us growing up, new people, particularly that look like us, that they could go one way or the other. It was right there on that fence, right? And if they don't get the help, they could go to the penitentiary or worse, to the grave. Or if they got the help, man, they could be CEOs. And so with our policies, we were looking at how do we intercept that process early? Because the violent offenders don't start there. They start with low-level nonviolent offenses, drug possession, things of that nature. So, yeah, we created our prosecution-led diversion program. We have a diversion advisory team. Dr. Kendra Holmes of Affinia chairs that. We have over 40 partners that include you from the Urban League to BJC, you name it, so that we can connect these people directly with the resources that they need. Over 3,000 people we've been able to divert from who would have saw a jail cell, but instead were connected with the treatment or housing or the education or educational opportunities that they need. And I'm going to give you a quick number real quick. Our recidivism rates, meaning our reoffender rates in Missouri after a year are at about 45%, meaning half the people get out and go back. After 10 years, our recidivism rates are like 80%. Of those 3,000 people that we got into our diversion program, we're talking a 3.9% recidivism rate. So a 97% success rate. So we've been able to expand those treatment programs. We created a integrity unit that investigates wrongful use of force by law enforcement and wrongful convictions. We had never had a female in executive leadership. I've hired 3.
We got a whole lot like y'all been doing a lot over there.
We've been doing a lot.
Y'all been doing a lot over there, man. We got Wesley Bell in the studio with us. He gonna actually hang out with us the whole show. It's a lot that we gotta unpack, that we gotta get into. So keep y'all ears locked, man. We be right back after this. It's The Fix. Right back at you, man. You tuned in to The Fix right here on 100.3 The Beat, STL's Hip Hop and R&B. We got Wesley Bell, St. Louis County prosecuting attorney in here. He's running for U.S. Congress, Missouri 1st Congressional District. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. Taylor, let's jump off into some more questions that we got.
Yeah, so how do you respond to the accusations from your opponents that you're receiving monies from Republicans who support Donald Trump?
You know, that's funny because political donations, if y'all have ever been to a fundraiser, Nobody's saying, hey, donate to me, but I need you to fill out an application so I know where all your positions. You're just trying to raise money to get your message out.
Right.
And this is what's the nefarious part, and actually the BS part, I'm trying to be nicer, of what they're doing, is that political donations you can't use for yourself.
Right.
I can't pay my mortgage with political donations. If you do that, you go to a federal penitentiary.
But they feel like that you getting a lot of money from
let
those
me
organizations.
You gonna let me finish?
Maybe. My bad, I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there. And so here's the thing. You can't use those. Political donations only help you get your message out. And when you get on television, like you've heard in radio, you burn through all that money. So you don't
Correct.
get to keep it.
Correct.
And if you misappropriate that money, you go to jail. And here's the thing. The only person in this race that's been accused of misappropriating political contributions is my opponent. Now, I'm going to add another part. Here's where you find if people are compromised. Every elected official has to fill out what's called a personal financial disclosure. Mm-hmm. That's where you find out what the individual is getting.
Right.
And what can, if I'm trying to buy you, your campaign ain't the way to buy you. It's to buy you those personal contributions. Mine is out there and for the public to see. I live on my salary.
Yeah.
Now, we had to fill ours out a couple weeks ago. Congresswoman got an extension, so we don't get to find out what she's putting out there.
So basically, she needed more time to let y'all know where the money was coming from.
You know?
Okay. So let's move forward, onward and upward. What are some of your top priorities for the St. Louis region if you are elected to Congress?
You know, first and foremost, this region, and we just being real, has been dying a slow death. Mm-hmm. We've been losing population in the city, and numbers came out last month. We're even losing population in the county. And I'm a former educator, and my best and brightest, 90% of them were always telling me, I'm moving, Professor Bell, because I feel like I don't have the opportunities here. So we got to start figuring out ways to work together so that we can start attracting industry and attracting families back here. And when you look at other regions, how they did it, Indianapolis, Phoenix, Atlanta, one of the ways to start bringing population back is to attract black families back. And so we got to figure out ways to work together because we got too much of the city and the county competing against one another as opposed to competing with one another. Also, I'm a big believer in access to quality and affordable health care. Like if a lot of people, and let me break this down for you. So black folks, we're disproportionately more likely to die from things like prostate cancer and breast cancer, which are treatable if detected early. But when you have healthcare deserts and you can't get into the doctor, well, it's easy to just put that off. And so, listen, y'all brought the question up, so I'm trying not to be messy, but I'm just gonna be honest.
I mean, but it's all right. You ain't said nothing wrong. We just got to get.
But I'm
into
about to. That's fine.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, you got the floor. What you want to say?
So you may have heard. Congresswoman was on PBS and in her book talking about that she can heal cancer and remove tumors. Now, I haven't really brought that up before because to me it's about the issues, but a good friend of mine in the medical field made a point to me which really stuck with me is that when we got black and brown people not going to the doctor, not getting checked out like they're supposed to, and then you have someone in leadership saying, oh, well, I can just heal you by putting my hands on you, that's a problem for me. That's a problem.
We'll be right back after this, guys.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
It's a fix. Welcome back. If you just tuning in, man, we kicking it with Wesley Bell, St. Louis County prosecuting attorney. Now, the election is coming up August the 6th. Early voting is about to get started. But a week from today. Mm-hmm. So one of my questions is, I consider myself young. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm still young and turned. But like, you know I got this little saying I be saying I'm young and turned. I ain't old and burnt.
Come on, Unc.
I'm young and turned. I'm not old and burnt. Anyway. What would be your message to the young voters in the community who tuning in right now, considering your role in the election? Like, what would be your message to them?
You got to vote because here's the thing, and there's a saying: if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Decisions are going to be made, and folks in power know who votes and who doesn't vote. They may not know exactly how you vote, but they know if you show up. And when people gotta make decisions on budgets and where budgets are gonna get cut, guess whose budget is gonna get cut? folks who don't show up. And overwhelmingly, younger people don't show up consistently. And that's why I'm telling you, I'm such a big proponent of educating people that I don't care what the election is, take that little time to show up and vote. I don't care if it's for the municipal elections, for dog catcher, whatever it is, show up and vote is so important. Early voting starts a week from today on the 23rd. You can go to different satellite offices around the city and county and vote early. And then election day is Tuesday, August 6th. But you got to show up. I mean, you got to show up like your life depends on it, like your community depends on it, because it absolutely does.
And is there anything else that we didn't cover that you would like for our listeners to know?
Man, again, absolutely. I think that there's a clear distinction in this race. You know, I was taught a long time ago that politics is about showing up and representing and hearing from your people, answering the tough questions. That's why I don't shy away from, coming in here. I didn't know what y'all was going to ask me, but it's important because you are a better public servant when you know what the public wants and those issues are. Yeah. And so that's one thing that I've done consistently. And again, for those who don't know, ask around. Like, I show up. I don't care if it's at the schools talking to younger people. We just met with seniors, with stakeholders, and everything in between. And that's why we're galvanizing so much support, such a broad coalition, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. We took our message. We beat a 30-year incumbent running for prosecutor because we took our message to every corner of this county. And in this race, we're taking our message to every district in this county. We have support in the Asian community, obviously our community and the Black community, but also the Jewish community. I mean, you name it, because for me, I believe it's about inclusion. I believe that everybody deserves a voice, and I want to. And when I get to D.C., I'm going to represent everyone in our district, especially our folks right here who need it.
I guess one of the things I constantly heard from all levels of politicians, whether it's on the mayor level or state level, St. Louis, the north side always get forgotten.
Absolutely.
So, like, what would be your message to the people that's from the north side, north of Delmar, any of those areas? What would be your message to them?
I'll say, know who's on the ballot and check the record.
Right.
The bottom line is, as I talked to you about the young voters, is that where we see the lowest turnout is on the north side. Mm-hmm. And so when you got city leaders and other folks, they making those decisions. There's some folks who try to speak up for it, but the biggest way to empower your community is to show up and be heard. Mm-hmm. And so, one thing that I've been big on, I'm the county prosecutor, but we really went after North County voters. North County is the largest voting block in the largest district in the state. Yeah. And so, but it's historically been the lowest turnout. So when I ran for prosecutor, people were saying, don't go there because you're not going to get as many votes. We're like, no, that's where we got to go, not only to get votes, but also these folks deserve to be heard. And that's where I'm from. So we went out and we got a record turnout.
You from Hazelwood East, man. I read that. I didn't know. I went to Hazelwood Central. You know the Hawks.
I'm Hazelwood West.
So little brother. Little brother.
You know what they used to say about Central? We had the baddest chicks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, they had the hood.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. That was what was said, even though I disagree with it.
That was the messaging.
It's not true to Hazelwood East Spartan. It's love for everybody. But, I got to represent my Hazelwood.
Big Central Hawks going on, man. Wesley Bell in the studio. Man, we wishing you much of luck, but you're going to be kicking it with us. We're going to play a little game. You're going to stick around for our STL Unlocked, man. So you taking over the show. We're going to play a little this or that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see how St. Louis you really are. We know you from, you're East Spartan. You know what I mean? Keep your ears locked, man. We're on that maroon and gold. We'll be right back after this.
Bro.
Welcome back to The Fix. Y'all tune in to 100.3 The Beat, STL's Hip Hop and R&B. It's Nitty Gritty, The Culture Connect, Raven, Ashley, Taylor, Simone. Let's go ahead and get off into STL Unlocked.
So we're doing a little different for STL Unlocked this show.
Since we got Wesley,
we switching it up. Since we still got Wesley in the building, we're going to play me and Taylor's favorite game, this or that. Now, there is no correct answer. However, sometimes we may judge you, especially on one of them. Okay. So, Taylor.
Feel like you completely gonna get judged.
Let's get started. So, the Delmar Loop or Laclede Landing?
So, what area?
Just answer.
Delmar Loop.
Delmar Loop. Okay. Jason Tatum or Brad Beal?
Jason Tatum. I mean, but much love to both. Like, come on, Jason Tatum.
All right, Nelly or Metro Boomin?
I mean, that's an easy one, Nelly. I mean, it's easy, but Metro Boomin is I mean,
Booming.
I'm saying I become a big fan, especially, like that. I'm a big Kendrick fan.
Black or white Air Forces?
You know what? So this is interesting. I'm answering the question. To answer the question, I was always black shoes. Now, but no. Now I'm white. I'm
You
with
used to be
it.
standing
But
on
for
business?
a minute, I used to
Still be standing on business.
it's still in my heart. I love them black shoes, but I finally get it. I finally
Okay,
get it.
good job.
Go ahead, Raven.
SZA or Sexy Red?
I'm gonna be respectful to all my St. Louis people, but SZA.
Okay, all right, you got it.
All right, Emo's Pizza or St. Louis style barbecue?
Oh, Emos.
Okay, the Fox or the Muni?
Fox.
Okay, Lou Brock or Ozzie Smith?
Ooh. I grew up on Ozzy, so the Wizard, and I know him, so I got to do that. But much respect.
And okay, Cedric the Entertainer or Red Fox?
So I grew up on Ced, but I remember Red Fox. And since he ain't here, he can't get mad at me. But come on, Ced, the King, the King.
So look, while we got you a Kendrick fan. So August 6th, you win. Y'all playing that at your victory party?
Listen, we already playing it. We got some of our interns already playing it on.
They playing
little
it. That's
clips
your
now.
theme song, not like us.
That's it right there.
You crip walking too?
Hey, off camera.
Hey, real north side, North County. You know what I'm saying?
I got a this or that.
All right, go ahead.
'Cause I heard. So I ain't gonna lie, I can't watch everything because I'm so busy. But I keep up with y'all, and I got some issues I need to point out. Like y'all hating on the Waffle House, and I think Miss Harris. I'm a big fan. I see you on Fox too. But I just heard when you was kind of hating on the Waffle House, and the Waffle House is fire. Now I'm just saying.
So let me give y'all some context. If y'all just tuning in. Taylor got some serious issues with Waffle House.
I love Waffle House.
But you
can't take her there. You cannot take her there.
She a 5-star chick. Y'all heard, got it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard, got it. She a 5-star chick. If you ain't taking her 5-star, fine
Don't take her
dining
to
and
no
wine.
Waffle House.
Amen.
So what if you go to the Fox and you go to a nice play on the first date? Now it's late and the 5-star restaurant's not open, and you just want to get a little food.
fine.
No, that's not fine.
Now it's
You gotta
fine.
start with something nice.
You gotta start with something.
Oh, okay. Start with something nice.
That's not what
if
you
we go
said.
to the park at Forest Park? We at R Hill. We taking a little walk. Then we want to go to.
We all
not
looking stank
enough.
face at her, y'all. Just so you know, y'all can't see that in the studio.
It depends on if I like you.
Also, if you like you, McDonald's cool.
It might be
You gonna
cool.
go get a
It
little
might be
apple
cool.
pie and a
Yeah,
little,
we might
you know
be
what I'm
cool.
saying?
Little milkshake.
Go give me a little apple pie and a little McFlurry. We be right back,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Hey, it's The Fix, man. Wesley Bell, thanks for coming through, man.
Man,
Kicking
my
it with
pleasure.
us, man. Best of luck to you, man. August 6th, man. Make sure y'all get out and vote, man. Use y'all voices, man. Young people. It's a lot of serious issues going on. Read up on the. I was finna get it all messed up. Read up on the candidates. And make sure you have your voice heard, as he told you.
Get out there and vote.
Your voice,
Yeah.
your vote is your
Vote.
voice.
Your voice matters,
Vote,
man.
vote,
We be right
vote.
back after this. It's The Fix.
Thank you for tuning in to The Fix every Saturday at 7 p.m. Stay connected with us on all platforms. You dig that? At TheFixSTL. And follow your hosts at Nitty Gritty. If you enjoyed today's show, check us out for bonus content, interviews, and exclusive giveaways.